Plaintiff Colette Henthorne and her daughter Keanne say when Keanne started dating the defendant, Colette thought he was a nice guy. However, Colette claims the defendant became controlling and abusive, and she's suing him today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Scott Peck says while dating Keanne, he was not controlling, and she was allowed to do whatever she wanted. Scott insists the loan Colette is suing for was an agreement between mother and daughter, and he has nothing to do with it.
Start with you.
When I first met Scott, I thought he was a really nice guy, gentleman, polite, and everything else. When he first started dating my daughter. When? November and December 2015. Like I said, he was really nice, polite, kind of shy. And then I found out later that he's not that type of person. He's controlling, abusive, and he held my daughter against the wheel. They went out for drinking and for her birthday, which is August 27th. They went out to celebrate it. They came home, got into an argument because she is supposed to be looking at another guy. And I got a call from her. She was hysterical, crying, sobbing, and everything else. I could barely understand her. So I drove to where she was, the neighbors. I finally got there and got in. And she's sitting on the couch and she's just all apart. She's crying, she's shaking and everything else. And it took me a little bit to find out what was going on. It seemed they got into an argument, a really bad one, and he wouldn't let her leave the house. He actually set on her and everything else. The police were called. Charges were filed against him for false imprisonment. And that's when I really found out
what happened with the case.
Huh?
What happened with the charges?
They were dropped because they chose not to pursue it. Not enough evidence. It's his word against hers. No witnesses or anything.
Plaintiff Colette Henthorne and her daughter Keanne say while Keanne dated the defendant, he was controlling and abusive.
Sir, you want to give me some background?
Pretty much, a lot of that, wasn't true. I guess, I don't even know how this was even involved with the $1,500, why we even bring up a relationship.
What was the money for?
It was for custody, for him to get rights to see his
Legal?
son. Yes, for a lawyer. I
All
felt
right,
really
and that's
bad.
what this is for?
Yeah.
Weren't you charged with something?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, but she said they
You were
dropped.
charged
I was charged with that. Oh, you're talking about that?
Don't say no, say
which-
yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yes,
All right.
yes.
So you
I'm
got
sorry.
a habit of needing lawyers. That's why we're talking about this.
That $1,500 had to do with the.
I know,
the
but
for my son.
lawyers, you need lawyers. So that's what she was giving me background on the fact that you have a habit of needing lawyers.
No.
That's why it has something to do with it.
You do.
I'll be the judge of whether it has something to do with it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you give me the background. That's what I want to hear.
Okay. We started dating the end of December. I was never controlling. I always let her do whatever she wanted and stuff like that.
You checked her phone all the
and then,
time.
Quiet, ma'am. I'm going to let her speak in a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then
You
probably
weren't
at the end of
controlling,
July.
none of that?
Yeah, no. I paid for all of her bills, everything. She didn't have a job, nothing. Sure, she asked if she could go out. I'd be like, no, we don't have money, because I supported my 2 kids and then her 2 kids and her. So, she never had child support until
She didn't work.
Nope, and she didn't work at all. And then,
So you pretty much supported a household of 5,
Yes.
2 of which were her children.
Right. And
Okay.
then we went out one Friday night. Yes, we got drunk. We both did. She got, screaming at me, yelling and stuff like that. That's why, the
All
charge.
right, that's how you all got into
Yeah.
your confrontation.
Yes.
Okay.
And I never sat on her. The only thing I do admit, I didn't want her to leave because she was drunk, and I didn't want her because she was wanting to drive. And that was the only thing.
Okay. Got that. Ma'am, state your name.
Keanne.
What do you want to tell me before we get to the loan your mother's suing for? What do you want to tell me?
Well, about the whole relationship, he was controlling. He was. And the night that we got into the disagreement, he did actually hold me down physically on the steps. He actually did hurt me. And yeah, I kicked him and everything else to get him off of me. But with the fact that he paid for me and my kids, we had agreed that it was okay that I didn't work, because he had 2 kids and I had 2 kids. Babysitting cost a lot of money.
Okay. So you took care of all 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ran his kids around to schools and stuff like that, like a normal mother would do.
Yeah. Understandable. All right. Tell me about the loan.
Okay, I loaned him the $1,500, like I said, to get a lawyer.
Okay.
So I loaned him the $1,500 to get an attorney.
When again?
When? That was in May.
of 16, obviously.
Yes.
And when was he to repay you?
We didn't actually set a date, but I did specifically tell them and him that I needed the money back by winter because I am on disability. I am on a set income. And with winter coming, my heating and cost in Nebraska is going to go up.
Right.
So I need that back.
That's a pretty big sacrifice for you.
Yes, it is.
$1,500 on a fixed
Yes,
income.
it was.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind it
I
helping
can't wait to
help
get
you.
on a fixed income, really.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
not being funny, but I can't wait. So I'm ready to say that.
Yeah,
And
so
they're going to be asking me like they are now. They're going to continue asking. I cannot wait. I'm on a fixed income. Can't do it. Can I borrow such and such, or can I get? I'm on a fixed income.
yeah.
So you're very generous to loan someone your money.
Yes.
And you're on a fixed income.
Yes.
Sir, what do you want to tell me about this loan? And did you agree to repay it by winter? If not, why?
She never once talked to me about the money or anything. She was always talking to Kian and everything, and the fact that the money never even came into my hands. It went into Kian, and Kian gave it to me. So
You never discussed the loan with her?
no, I never once discussed the loan with her or anything.
Ma'am?
Yes, it was the discussion between all three of us because my daughter was there, and yes, I did talk to her, but he was on the other side, right beside her. So yes, he did. He was involved whenever he.
And it was
went
for
on.
his benefit.
Yes.
And he was present.
Yes.
Is that true? He was present?
Like he knew about the conversations, yes.
No, not knew about. Was he present? Your mother said he was present.
For some of the conversations in regards to the loan, yes. Every single one, I can't.
Every single one what?
Every single conversation we had about the loan, I can't.
No, the
guarantee.
initial.
Yes.
Plaintiff Colette Henthorne and her daughter Kian say while Kian dated the defendant, he was controlling and abusive.
You all were both present when the initial loan was made?
Whenever we first asked, yes.
Okay. All right. Give me the scenario, because he says he wasn't. Were you present?
No, I
You
no, I
say you
wasn't.
never heard
The
anything?
fact that I never asked Kian to go to her mom.
No, I know,
for
but
that-
were you
that-
sitting there?
No, I was never
All
present.
right, and that's why I want to hear the scenario, since you were sitting there.
We were actually at my mom's, which we go quite often, and we were sitting there, and I had asked
Sitting there
him,
doing what?
watching TV.
On the couch?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much what we normally do.
What were you watching? I'm just kidding. I know you wouldn't remember that. Go ahead.
The subject was brought up about borrowing
By
money.
whom?
By me.
Mm-hmm.
About borrowing money because we had already asked a bunch of other people and they all told us they couldn't help us. We even went to banks and they couldn't help us.
Did the word "we" come out of your mouth?
Yes, because I used we quite often when I discussed something with us because he did pay for my
and
thing.
you all have a household.
Yes.
How long have you all been in the same household?
Me and him,
Uh-huh.
we lived together for about 7 months.
All right. Sir, they say you were sitting there. She used the term "we." When you didn't correct her, and she received the money that went towards your benefit. Now you're saying you never spoke with the mother. You were never sitting there when it came about.
No, no, because when Kian talked to me about it, we were in our own house, and that Kian would call her mom on the phone and discuss to her, and then she would tell me what they talked about, and that
When you all first talked about it, what did you talk about? What, you and your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend? You say when she mentioned it, you all talked about it before asking for the money, right?
right.
So what'd you say?
I
What'd you
told
all
her
talk
that
about?
with me supporting her every month and paying all the bills and everything else, that I wouldn't have hardly any money to give her every month to pay it back, even around a certain amount of time. And then
So why'd you accept it then if you knew you weren't going to be able to pay her back?
because Kian told me, because at the time around April,
Ken didn't even work.
right, that's what I was getting to. Kian said around April that she was going to get a job because we were struggling in bills, and that she would help out them.
When
by
did you
pay-
borrow the money?
I think it was around May.
Right.
Yeah.
So by May, when you borrowed it, she hadn't gotten this April job. So how could you rely on her to repay it? Any evidence so far
we're
they're
just
winning,
text
sir? I
messages.
hope you have some evidence.
We did go to court. It shows that because I babysit the kids. Well, he went to court.
Tomorrow, 11:45 is when we have court in May. Need help with the kids. I have to had dentist appointment today. My face is swollen. On the left side, it's infected. What does this have to do with anything? Have
Just the top part, Your Honor.
antibiotics and codeine, Tylenol 3. That still doesn't conclude that he agreed to repay.
No, he does. No, that's,
All right.
there's nothing.
All right, but based on the testimony I'm hearing, I don't have concrete evidence, but so I'm going to go on the testimony that I'm hearing, sir, and their testimony is more reliable, I find, and credible than yours is. So, judgment for the plaintiff, $1,500. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Your Honor.
Nothing. We don't talk or anything.
After she finally got tired of him texting and everything else, after they broke up, she blocked his number, so there's no contact.
Yeah, and I blocked her likewise on other social media too, so we don't have any conversation.
He told her on the phone that I was the last one on the list to be paid. So that's why I went to sue him.